Welcome back to Sunrise Today. Yes, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke joins us now. He is the president of ASUU. Good morning, Prof. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, and thank you very much.
Yeah, so that meeting held yesterday with the officials of government. So, yes, we know that it will continue on September 6th, thereabouts. So, what is the current situation now?
Well, the situation now is the way it was. What we did yesterday is, we gave them a notice, 21 days notice, and the issue they already know, the issue of our negotiation of the agreement of 2009, the issue of our in allowance, the issue of revitalization fund, our 3.5 months salary, and others. So they already know. So what we made yesterday was to brief us what they have done, and they told us their plan. So we looked at it, set a committee to our member to join some of those issues, and so that's where we are. So we are waiting.
Does this effectively put that 21-day ultimatum notice on hold?
Definitely not.
Uh-oh.
No.
The process is in place.
Yes, that's why we say we are meeting on the 6th. If on the 6th, whatever they give to us on the 6th that they have done, we'll call our members, and then they will look at it. If they are satisfied, but if they're not satisfied, we'll go ahead with it.
What are some of the things that you're hoping will be done by the 6th?
We would have expected, we already have a negotiation committee, that we already have an agreement between we and the Nimi Breeze Ledge Committee. What we're waiting for them is to bring that document for signing. They didn't. So what we accept this team to do is that they should quickly set up their own negotiation team. If there are issues on it, they should come back to us. We'll look at it. One day we'll look at it. And if they say we should sign, then we'll sign. And that is gone.
I want to be able to get your thoughts on the proliferation of universities. That's one of the things on
That's one of the issues, yes.
So what does that mean? What's going on there?
As we speak, so for information we have at the National Assembly, they are up to, bill to establish up to 70 universities, new universities. As we speak, so go and check. In the past 5 years, the past 10 years, we have established not less than 30 new universities. And our own idea is that if you cannot fund the one you have already, UI and what have you, why are you going to start so many others? Why? There's no reason you can't fund the one you have. For a little good example, the running cost for Unilag, UI, University of Ife, OAU Ife, ABU and Suka, is about 15 million naira a month. It's what you give them to run that universities. And you want to start a new one. And I idea, why? There's no reason. Because we not call the constituency project. When you are living as a legislator, you say, I started university, I established university in my constituency. That's not the idea of a university. In the old days, when the University of Nsukka, Ibadan, all these universities were established, the government will put a team in place to look at, one, where do we site it? Two, how do we fund it? Three, where are we going to get the staff who will lecture in those universities? As we speak so, our lecturers are living in droves. Many are dying, and I'm just saying it. But so who will lecture in this university you are establishing?
Isn't ASUU overreaching itself if you make that as part of your demand? Because government can say, look, that is our business. Ours is to make sure you get your allowances. If you're getting your allowances, why are you going to be bothered about?
Our own idea as a union of academics is to ensure Nigeria have a standard. So this produce students who have quality, not quantity.
Yeah, but you can advise government and not compel government.
Well, this country belongs to all of us. This country, and we speak for the academics. And it belongs to all of us. If you cannot produce university where lecturers who are lecturing are not qualified, university don't have structure, don't have anything, and the quality goes out and time may behave, they will say ASUU. They will not be saying the government that Nigerian university with ASUU are producing low quality degrees.
Yeah, but what about those who say, look, you're trying to twist the government? Because other people say, look, the way to go about it is lobby the government, advise them, say, no, look, if you go this route, this is what you may likely get. But ours, if you don't get us our end allowances, then we'll have it grounds.
Let me tell you what we have done. We have met with them. We agree we will propose a bill to the National Assembly on this issue. We were initiating a bill to say, good, if you want to establish this type of university, let's start with you. So that when you establish your community, bring your children to attend that university. You don't just produce things. You see, we as we believe in quality, not quantity. So, but we have a country who believes in quantity and not quality. And today, the impact, we're all feeling it. There's no week a building don't collapse in Nigeria.
So, Prof, if government pays the allowances to ASUU and insists we will set up our universities, will ASUU still go on strike?
If it gets to that level, yes. You see, look, at the end, it's we. Look, a university is universal, not a village. But we have turned our university to villages. There's no university you go in the world outside Nigeria that you don't see a foreigner, a Nigerian teaching in those universities. But come to Nigeria, you will hardly see one foreigner teaching in any university. We are removing our university from the global perspective to a local perspective. Go to Benin, go to Niger, go to Ghana. Nigerians are teaching, foreigners are teaching. When you enter Nigerian university, you can never see any foreigner coming to teach here. Something is wrong. But in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, in my department at university I attended, there were lecturers from 5 different countries teaching in one department.
I want to be able to talk about your allowances, what you're being owed.
Look,
give us an outline of what the government is owing ASUU.
One, in academic allowance. And the idea of in academic allowance is this. When we reach an agreement, the ratio of academics, a lecturer to a student, as enshrined by the government through NUC, the maximum is 1 lecturer to 5 students. But today, you have 1 lecturer to 50 students. Which means you are across the line. For doing this extra work, we say pay us, and we all agree, signed. They are owing up to 7 years on paid allowance. We agree in 2021 that it should be mainstream. Instead of talking about earning allowance, let me be part of this monthly salary. We all agree, signed. Government never implemented. That is 1. 2, we were on strike. They said they will no work, no pay. And we say, fine. What is no work, no pay? Academic staff work is not about daily work. It's about what you do. But when we came back from that strike, we had 2 options. Option 1 is, okay, allow the past to go. Let's start from a new session, 2023, 2024. But when we look at that, we find if we do that, it would be negative to these students. Young men and women, we say, okay, let's go back and start where we stopped. And we have pulled that up now. Every university is in 2023, 2024. Every university, because, and how do we do that? In the old good old days, a professor, a lecturer, every year you have up to 3 months leave. They call it vacation, they're not even leave. That they have money, they could travel all over, go and enjoy themselves, they go and also build up your research. But in the past 10 years, because of strike, no lecturer goes on leave. We spend those periods now to do the past work that we didn't do while we were on strike. And now that we have done, we say pay.
So government has not fulfilled any part of that 7 years?
The pay of the 7 years of which one?
Of the one you said they're owing now? 7 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they only pay little, but they are still owing 7. It would differ from 2013, I'm sorry.
But what is ASUU's expectation? Because the government says clearly we can't pay 7 years in one fell swoop. Yeah. Maybe they will say we might likely phase it. So if this committee comes up, what do you expect?
Also generously gave them a way
to go about.
We say pay 2 tranches of 25 billion. Pay 2 tranches.
How much is the money altogether?
Billion.
Yes. For all Nigerian universities.
Wait, how much is the money?
The money we have there, is up to 80 billion.
80 billion?
Yes. For all Nigerian universities, by the time I go to each lecturer, nobody gets more than maybe maximum of 100, 200, 300,000. So, but we now say, for our generosity, just pay 2 and let the rest go. But let's sign a new agreement and move on from there.
Some Nigerians are not very sympathetic with ASUU because they say you're punishing Nigerian children. First of all, they're dealing with a level of education that doesn't put them on the same level as their counterparts across the world. And then at the same time, you keep going on strike for one thing or the other.
Let me assure you, if not for ASUU struggle, Nigerians should know. If not for ASUU struggle, there will not be public universities in Nigeria today. If not for ASUU struggle, this is our strike, so-called strike. If not, there will not be. Just like primary school and secondary school are gone. You are aware. They have been taken over by private sectors. Hope you are aware. If not for ASUU struggle, today we have about 90-something public universities, state and federal. We have more than 100 public. This same 90-something, about 96 federal state university still have more than 90% of Nigerian students. This more than 100 private universities have less than 10% of Nigerian students. because of our struggle. Go to any university, any new building, any new structure you see is state fund. That's our struggle. It's need assessment is our struggle. So when Nigeria is saying this, do you want to go to the way the primary and secondary school? Is that what Nigeria wants us to do? The answer is no. So our struggle is we have still kept Nigerian university going. Any day we let down this struggle. Virtually every senior Nigerian today have a started a university. And look at what they have done with the private secondary and primary school. They have reduced the years you spend in school, what you study. You cannot spend 3 years in primary school. You cannot spend 4 years in secondary school. When the law is very clear, you must spend 6 years in primary school, 6 years in secondary school.
Look, I think ASUU
just to make money.
I think we read that ASUU was not supporting that. ASUU, were you supporting the government concerning, because I mean the headline was, why are you rushing your children, yes, which was ascribed to ASUU, yes, even though parents say, look, if a child is smart and brilliant enough, yeah, let them go.
It's do you mean every child, all Nigerian children are very smart? Are you saying that all Nigerian children are very smart, they must do 3 years or 4 years? Are we saying so? Let me tell you the adverse effect. And it's very clear. See, we don't look at the issues. Today, when we were running normal university, public secondary parents were running the system. When the children take JAM, the minimum cutoff point is either 200 or minimum 180. Because children were passing through the system. And when they go to do this general exam, that is a general round, they score well. More than 80% will score above 180 and you are admitted. If you score beyond 180, you can't be admitted. Now we have reduced it to you must cash and carry. You spend 3 years, you are graduated. Have you seen the result of JAM? University are now downloaded themselves, they now take 140, which is a failure. 140 over 400 is 35%, which is failed. Because of this thing we are doing that Nigeria is clapping for. You know, in the private school, you can pass anything. In WAEC, they are written in private school. The only exam that you do generally is JAM, and you can see the result. I
mean, I think...
And that is the bad effect of we condoning what we know is not correct.
ASUU's statement came in the wake of the Minister of Education stating that you had to be 18 years old to write WAEC, to WASC and JAM. That was where ASUU made that statement, say, why are you rushing your children? Talk to us a bit about ASUU's stand on that statement by the minister.
We, as a union, we have not discussed it. And when we discuss, we'll give the union stand. But my own stand as a person, as a lecturer, as a professor, is that children will be allowed to pass through the system as indicated by the regulator. And by the system is that you must be 6 years before you enter primary school.
Okay.
You must spend 6 years in primary school. Secondary school, the junior level 3, upper level 3, which is 6. If you add 6 times 3 is 18. But because we are now, parents don't want to, they're not even interested in the psychology of the child. You take a child who is 13 years old and he gets admission into a university. Today, less than 10% of students in university still have access to hostels. So a child of 13 years will not go and rent accommodation in the public. Who is a junior, who is not even an adult. The effect that you are now having people who are not very coming to the system can be with psychological problem.
What kind of psychological problem?
Will you allow your child of 12 years, 13 years to live on her own in a rented place, in a village, where you have court members around? Would you allow that? So what are we saying? Why the rush? Why not allow the system to go?
Does the system make adjustments for child geniuses?
Even when we're in school.
Does the system make this rule? Does it give that concession for them?
When you are a very brilliant student and you are done well, university have a right to make you jump 1 year if you are very, very brilliant. But here today is everybody. Whether you are a dullard, you are a brilliant, you must spend this one, you must spend this one. Students now write primary school living certificate at primary 4. And what have you? The only exam that you can use to judge them today, generally, is JAM. And you, like I told you, that university are now 35% to admit students into school.
But Prof, it is not all parents that are pushing their children like this. So there has been no statistics to show the percentage of people. It might be even negligible. So at least, because likely, vast majority of parents are still saying, listen, you go through the whole thing. And we had someone writing saying, no, my child will go through the normal system. So how do we know the percentage?
Let me tell you, all those pass through public schools, primary, secondary, who still have their children in public, primary and secondary school, they pass through the system. 6 years. This thing you are seeing are in the public, private schools. And you can check. It's a private, because for them, the earlier you graduate, the more students you admit, the more money you make. And for the parents who are very selfish, instead of paying school fees for 6 years, I pay for 3 years, you apply for school. So
it's not that ASUU is angry with private schools.
Eh?
It's not that ASUU is somewhat angry with private schools.
We are telling government to ensure that regulations are kept, whether you are in public or in private.
All right, so before we go, what about the payment system, UTAS? Is there still an issue with that one?
There's still an issue. And that, to me, that is the one that is, we are so surprised that in December, Federal Executive Council, chaired by the President, issued a directive to the Accountant General of the Federation, exit tertiary institution from IPPIS. We met, the Minister of Education, summoned a meeting in January. We met and agreed on the guideline of how to go. And we are in August. The Accountant General refused to obey that directive. The government also in July issued a statement again. Say, Secretary of the Government, please ensure that this thing happen immediately. We are in August, ending August. The Accountant General refused to implement that decision. That shows you that where we are. In a normal country, that Accountant General should not be there in office. That a president, Federal Executive Council, the higher region would make a decision and the Accountant General would refuse to implement.
Why do you think that was so?
They don't tell the Nigerian public. Till now, we are still being paid what they call it a new IPPIS, whatever they call it. So if they are given the directive in January, and this is how they instigate strike, exit them. And I speak to you so, they are deducting our money, they will not refund. Our members, our contribution, pension, even pension contribution, for 4 months, they have not returned. They are not returned to our pension, ROSA. Our members' cooperative contribution, when they contribute to help them when they need money, they are holding it, they have not remitted. Third-party deduction, they have not. Because of this IPPIS.
Is ASUU opposed to transparency and proper corporate governance and accountability by University Senate? Because that's the impression that the authorities are giving.
No, you see, when people want to create something, they look for excuses. Before we enter IPPIS, you are aware now, even they have announced it, that many people are now abroad all over the country earning salary for IPPIS. They have said, meaning the government said it. So many who are left with the job, because when you are working, you don't know how you are paid. So you leave, they don't know you are being paid. You have retired, you have left. They thought you have resigned and left. You are still being paid in Nigeria. So but we as a union, our own idea is very clear, as it was in 16, 17, and 18. University A will come to National Assembly with its budget. The National Assembly will scrutinize it and approve a budget for that university. That money is released to the university either on monthly basis or on quarterly basis. At the end of the year, when you come for the next budget, you must explain National Assembly how you spend the last money before you get the new one. That is the procedure. Not this one today. You don't know how much, if you don't know how much you paid, don't know who staff are.
But has ASUU been holding University Senate accountable? Because government says that has not been happening as much as they want.
University Senate does not run, University Senate run academics. University Senate don't talk about.
Who implements the funds that they give to the schools?
It's the governing council. And that's what we've been fighting for government. You remember, we have to go on strike to get government to put in place a governing council.
Because that was just constituted not too long ago.
Yeah, but it took 1 year before the government constituted a council.
Who was administering the funds in that absence?
That is the question. That's why we said, set up a visitor panel to probe those, the VCs, the universities, the councils. That's why we also went on strike to get the government to set up a visitor panel to look at those who have mismanaged funds, and you try them. Those are the things we went on strike to get a council in place. We went on strike to get government to set up a visitor panel, which is a regular thing in the government law.
Okay. All right. So you told us if government doesn't, if you don't get that the feeling that the right things are being done by September 6th, your ultimatum still stands. and you may likely go on strike.
My appeal to the government and to Nigerian people, please, the issues are no serious thing. If they don't tell you there is no fund. You have no fund, you can do a road from Lagos to Calabar for 30 trillion. And what we are asking for Nigerian universities over 6 years is 1.3 trillion. I say there's no money. Please, let's put education first. Let's bring our university to one of the best in what I can get to them who will pay us in dollar all over the world. Like you have 70,000 Nigerian students in Canada. If they come home and Canada come here, we will resolve all these problems. So in the interest, we want to appeal to the president. We knew his view when we were on strike. So please, let's resolve this issue in the interest of Nigerian people. And there will be seamless, there will not be strike or anything. We don't like strike, we suffer. That's our appeal. All
right, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, President of ASUU, thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, Saranzele will be back in just a moment. Stay on with us.